Welcome back to Opinion Journal. I'm Mary Kissel. Minnesota Congresswoman Michele Bachmann, one of the icons of the Tea Party, looks like she's going to have a very tough race from her Democratic challenger, Jim Graves. Could the Tea Party lose one of its icons? Editorial board member Steve Moore joins me now from Washington. Steve, we're going to have a quick look at the numbers here. It looks like Representative Bachmann is down by 2 points, according to the public policy poll. So is this a Michele Bachmann problem, or is this a Tea Party problem, Steve?
Well, maybe a little bit of both, Mary, but you asked the question, is Michele Bachmann in trouble? And the answer is she's been in trouble really ever since she got started in her political career. And, I'm a kind of an admirer of Michele's. I interviewed her about a year or two ago for the Journal in our weekend interview, and she is a political survivor. The left has spent so much money, literally tens of millions of dollars over the last 6 to 8 years to try to oust her from that seat. And she always manages to squeak by, even though she's oftentimes outspent 2 or 3 to 1. So, I would still put my money on Michele that she's going to pull this out, because I've seen it happen year after year where the left thinks they've got her and she's managed to escape. And by the way, she is, when you talk about her being an icon of the Tea Party movement, you're right. She's the head of the Tea Party caucus in the House.
Steve, she's a political survivor, but wow, she didn't last for very long in the presidential primaries.
That's true.
Did that experience hurt her?
You can say that about a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't exactly the A team here, but did that experience and that national exposure so early into her national, really, she wasn't really that well known across the nation, and she all of a sudden she was running for president. I mean, did that hurt her?
Well, there was a period when she was remember, she was the flavor of the month for about 3 weeks during that campaign, and that was about the time that I interviewed her. And you're right, then she fell like a rock. And I think actually running for president may actually have hurt her in terms of her chances of getting reelected this term, because it made her seem a little bit out of the mainstream, so to speak. And so this is the reason the left really has their knives out for her. I mean, she's very conservative. She wants to cut government spending. She wants to cut tax. She's a bit flat tax person. And being the symbol of the Tea Party, you can understand why the left wants her scalp.
But Steve, why is she struggling for this seat? I thought that this was a Republican-leaning district, and yet even in the last election, it was a close-run race between her and Mr. Graves.
Well, it's a slightly Republican district, but not especially so. And this is a district she's always had to fight for, and Republicans have always had to fight for. Democrats have always put it near the top of their targeted list in terms of pickups. My feeling is, look, if the Republicans do okay in 2014, which they should, it's an off-year election without Barack Obama on the ticket, it's hard for me to see how Michele Bachmann loses the race. I am putting my money, Mary, on Michele to pull this one out. I know you're sounding skeptical, but I think she's going to do it.
I'm so skeptical. Fine, Steve. I'll bet you money that she's going to lose this seat. Editorial board member Steve Moore, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you.